Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen, Spirit Source and Symphony, we listen to the current energies, we connect with our soul source connection, and we go as guided. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We have some beautiful and powerful and empowering energies and topics to share this week in this week's episode. And again, remember, these ripple out. There is no timestamp on the universe. So just because, better way to put it is, whenever you come to whatever show you may be watching, it's right on time. It's right on time for you. So that's something to celebrate. And welcome, Olivia. And remember, as you're joining from around the globe, give a shout out in the comments, and so that we know you're there. And then also remember, we take and incorporate your comments and your questions live into the broadcast. You are each a piece of this beautiful tapestry, and your participation, your presence enriches the entire experience. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's jump in. So we are going to be covering 5 topics, plus the unseen. The unseen, of course, woven through all of it. The autumnal equinox, which is taking place predominantly on Saturday, the 23rd of September. The more west you are, it begins on the 22nd, but predominantly Saturday, the 23rd. The Sabian symbol that goes with that degree, it's 0 degrees Libra, so the Sabian symbol is 1 degree Libra. We're going to be looking at Hexagram 47. Oppression, exhaustion, and we've been talking about oppressed, suppressed, and so forth, and the exhaustion, world events, and so forth. And then, and it's about adapt. And then we have how the theme of today's show showed up 9 shows ago. It showed up on July 12th. And that show was called Transfiguration, the launch of the new you. I'll tell you what the theme is in a moment for today's show. And then last but not least, we're going to be looking at the codon rings, the rings of revelation. And again, the synchronicity, the master weaver and the tapestry of how this all hexagram 47, how these codon rings, how these Sabian symbols, everything interacts, everything comes together for a singular message. And there's this, and the singular message, this week's show, welcome Alicia, and the main theme this week is transfiguration, the mere human individual made sacred. And I used this image, we had this image, the backdrop image from last week, and it was enhanced and it just fits. Last week was about heaven and fire coming together. This is about transfiguration, the mere human individual made sacred. and this same kind of like the pink, and you're going to see this theme of pink. You saw it in the intro, you see it in the shirt I'm wearing, you see it in the sky, and this just beautiful lit sky, the oranges, the yellows, the pink, the blues, the purples, all of this. Good morning, welcome, Colleen. So there's a message, the main message, Transfiguration, the mere human made sacred, and how that again ties to the show 9 weeks ago, Transfiguration, the launch of the new you. And this all has to do with, of course, the new, what we've been talking about for a year and a half plus. People have been talking about for 2,000 plus years. We've discussed this. And so let me put my specs on, and let's go immediately to the equinox chart, the astrological natal chart for the equinox, bringing it up on the screen so you all can see it. You can see on your kind of left over there, there is the sun at 0 degrees Libra. And again, as I believe Ava mentioned, there's this kite configuration I call it the kind of like the lunar module capsule, but we keep getting this lunar module kite effect in the center. It's the blue lines in the center. And welcome, Dr. Sue. And so there's this beauty in the fact that, again, it's pointing the tip of the kite, or the base of the kite, if you will, depending on how you want to look at it, is right at 0 degrees Libra. And it's the autumnal equinox, where the day and the night are the same length, roughly the same length. And there's a great power in that. And I just want to bring up really quickly, share with you all, it's an email that I get regarding, from one of the, if I can find it, where did it go? Where did it go? And perhaps I did it and I didn't bring it up, and thereby, there we go. So it's from Salacia at salacia.com, and she's a light worker and everything. And she just said, the equinox is coming. And she talks about the equinox is known as a historic marker of change. Totally new energies arrive, providing the impetus for changes on both a personal spiritual level and societal level. And of course, it is the switchover. In the northern hemisphere, it's about, we're going from summer to fall. And in the southern hemisphere, they're going from winter to spring. So total shifts of energy. But it's also on a greater scale, this total shift, the societal level shifts. And she said, on a spiritual level, the equinox energies invite us to look more deeply at our lives and how we live. It's a time for contemplation and self-reflection. She suggests making time for daily meditation and going within. Starting now and through the week after equinox, this is time well spent, for you could have an unusual breakthrough regarding something of great importance to you as a soul. And the bigger thing about the equinox gateway energies is this transformation, this shift, this transfiguration is about going inside. Our lives were so sped up. Everything's go, 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 go. And we rarely make time just to stop 5 minutes. And I'll post this for 5 minutes and just sit in stillness and quiet. You don't have to receive anything. You don't have to do anything. But just make space to cleanse your vessel, to empty the vessel so as to receive, so that things come in. Because she talks about the fact, these equinox gateway energies, which you will tangibly feel and experience on the 23rd, this is Saturday, and then can both bring life back into balance and open you to opportunities that can transform your life in huge ways. So see, it's all about opening the vessel, opening to the way, emptying the vessel. When we empty the vessel, there's new space. It's new. And so it leads us in this way. And this is this big shift on Saturday with the equinox. We're going to look at the Sabian symbol. This is by Dane Rudyer. And again, remember the Sabian symbols, they correspond to the astrology, to each degree, the 360 degrees of the astrological wheel. There's a symbol for each degree. So this is 1 degree Libra. And it says, in a collection of perfect specimens of many biological forms, a butterfly displays the beauty of its wings, its body impaled by a fine dart. And what that means is, if you've ever seen butterfly specimens and they're held in place by like a fine pin, and in essence, in their natural, beautiful, full wholeness, in their perfected state. That's what this is talking about. This is the immortal, archetypal reality that a perfect and dedicated life reveals. Perfect and dedicated, meaning we care to be conscious. We care to be our divine selves. We care to go and look within. It's a choice. And in order to choose it, we've got to care about it. We've got to choose, we've got to care to do it. So it's talking about this symbol, and it says at this autumnal point, the drive toward individualization and self-assertion has lost much of its momentum, while a new trend is successfully and dynamically challenging its hegemony. So we're talking about the fact that the old ways, the height of the patriarchal Piscean rule, this pursuit, remember, the ideal becomes the new reality. We've been pursuing the ideal. And so the height of its moment has had its moment. There's a new trend, and we're successfully and dynamically challenging the old. The trend toward the formation of collectivities of individuals. But this new trend can be misunderstood if seen only superficially as the mere gathering together of individual persons. Remember, matriarchal Aquarian age is about we the people. But if we just look at it from a surface place, if we just do the same old, how does the experience change? If we never go within, if we never look at our vessel, if we never empty it, nothing changes. So it is incumbent upon us to approach the new, not the old us, not the experience that has had its time, a reason, a season, a lifetime. It's had its moment. Now we turn to the new, and we need to show up new. Empty the vessel. This is where emptying our spaces, our thoughts, the labels, the scripts, the stories. It's all about the stuff we've been talking about. But this new trend can be misunderstood if seen only superficially. The process has a much deeper meaning and indeed an inner source of power. For what is at stake is not merely an aggregation of separate units, simple or already complex, as in the case of families. At the core of this coming together, the descent and the externalization of the archetypal realities is gradually occurring. At this Libra stage, these realities are forms. At the Scorpio stage, they are powers. The symbol of this degree of the fall equinox thus describes a perfect form. The result of the metamorphosis, remember we had that word very powerfully in some shows ago, the result of the metamorphosis of worm into butterfly, a process, the symbolism of which has so often been used to indicate to man the possibility of their being transformed into more than man, the transhuman being, the true initiate, the adept, the perfect, the divine human, the human having a divine experience, the divine having a human experience. The perfect butterfly is impaled by a fine dart, the symbol of dart of wisdom, was used in Mark Jones's mimeographed course, while the original notation of what the clairvoyant had seen, because the Sabian symbols were received by a clairvoyant, she had seen indicated a butterfly made perfect by a dart through it, suggesting a process of perfection through sacrifice. Perfection through sacrifice. We are being guided and we are being asked, remember, to sacrifice the old, sacrifice, surrender. Surrender the old thoughts, the old experiences, the old labels, the old institutions, the old way of being. Because in the new, there is a whole new way. Pluto comes into Aquarius. It hasn't happened in 276 years. The French and American revolutions, the Industrial Revolution. It brings about massive change, massive newness, patriarch to matriarch, a major change in being, in how we go about living and being and succeeding and achieving. Let me just bring this in. Ava is saying, love this, emptying the vessel and just receive the new. Exactly. We've got to make space for it. And Sue is saying it's also to show how to live in the right. Exactly. It is about right choices. It is about, as we'll see, the current energies and the main energies that are there. This goes on, the Sabian symbol goes on to say, the perfect butterfly thus represents the outcome of the process of occult, meaning wisdom, discipleship, symbolized by the sign Virgo. Virgo, the Virgin, the Divine Mother, matriarchal rule. From there on, a new process begins, that of collectivization. At the very core of that new process, the perfect form of man must remain as a standard of value in this process if it's to be valid and meaningful. Meaning, soul source, our soul essence, our human essence, not our ego, mind, personality, but our soul essence, who we are as a soul, remains. That allows it to be valid and meaningful. This is the first statement in the 13th scene. I found this very interesting. 13. The letter M, like Mary, Divine Mother, is the 13th letter in the English alphabet. So we have this, it's the 13th scene of the great ritual drama, life. It is an actional phase because in it, the perfection of individual activity is revealed and immortalized. This is the symbolical transfiguration. At the Mount of Transfiguration, Jesus, the Son of Man, was impaled by the ray of divine light, making of him a Son of God. It was at this very moment that he learned of the crucifixion awaiting him. Thus, the merely human individual is made sacred, becoming the pure embodiment of an archetype. The ideal becomes the new reality. We are made sacred. We are changed. We are forever changed. That's what the Sabian symbol is talking about. That is what the fall equinox, and remember, 2023, it's a 7-year, the foundation of God's word. And there's beautiful, let me just jump to the first thing the unseen said. They said, enough is enough is enough. Like, it's done, it's time. Enough is enough is enough. We've done it this way. 2,000 plus years, we move forward. And what was interesting about this, the lyrics, if you say it, enough is enough is enough, it's a song from Donna Summers. And the album that song is on is called No More Tears. Well, Revelation 21:4, because that triggered something in me and I went, wait a minute. Revelation 21:4, he will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. So they give me, the unseen gives me, enough is enough is enough. I know it's a Donna Summers lyrics, but they're also associating it with enough is enough is enough, enough. And thereby we move forward. We release the old, we make space, we purify, and thereby we are the mere, quote unquote, the mere human And I not, I had a step for a moment about using the word mere, because it would denote that somehow we humans, mere human, that somehow that's a less than, because we're not. We are divine in nature, always have been, always will be. However, what it's saying is, again, look at where we are, current state of affairs. Pluto's bringing up all the underbelly stuff for us to see how can we live in what's right if we don't know what's wrong. And this place of enough is enough, but the mere human meaning because we've forgotten our divine nature, our divinity. We are so focused or, locked in the hamster in the wheel, locked in the human, the ego, mind, personality aspect of life, of our being, that we are that much further away from our divinity, from our consciousness, from our divine nature. And this is about bringing it back. This is about delivering it, deliverance. The ideal becomes the new reality. And how each of us is responsible, step by step, piece by piece, moment by moment, to effectuate the deliverance of this, to empty the vessel. So, and with that, this is where the mere human individual made sacred. And with enough is enough is enough, this no more tears, and then Revelation 21:4, they said, the second thing they said, the unseen said, was mere hours, days, weeks. The journey in full, the journey begins, and the journey in full, which says to me, so there's a commencement, there's a beginning. So they're saying hours, days, weeks. The journey begins, the journey in full, which means, and this is a little bit challenging to articulate. So imagine, of course, everything happens at once. So meaning everything is whole in every moment. The whole of the whole is present in every moment. And yet, so the journey in full and the journey begins, meaning each of us at whatever level, state, place we are, will experience the journey in full, in steps, in pieces, wherever we may be. As I said at the top of the show, this is timeless. Wherever you are when you come to a show, it's perfect. It's perfect timing for exactly where you are. It's the same thing. The journey begins and the journey in full. They're contained within the other. Let me just bring this in. Colleen is saying, how long before that dies? It cannot come soon enough. So it can die, and this is so important and so poignant on time, Colleen, and for everyone. Look what we were just talking about. Whenever you come to the shows, it's perfect timing. Wherever you are, the journey begins and the journey in full. How long before it dies? It can't come soon enough. Allow it to die. Allow whatever you're holding on to. And this is for everyone. Colleen is asking the question perfectly and poignantly. Empty your vessel. Clear your mind. Let go of whatever you're holding on to, and it will die. The old will die. It is, and you'll see how this is in Hexagram 47, this point that Colleen just asked. It is the point. Individually and collectively, we are required to release the oppression, the exhaustion, and we're to adapt. That's Hexagram 47. So right where you are, let it go, lay it down, and it will die. I understand that you're asking on the greater whole of the whole in Revelation 21:4, the old order of things passes away. No more tears and so forth. I understand. That is however, the answer that they've given us is in the micro. We're meant to, as individual, 8 billion souls on the planet, let go, adapt, surrender, let the old way, the old order of things die. And right there at the simultaneously, source, the unseen, comes in at the same time as we're doing our part, they do their part, everything releases, the old order goes away because the new has arrived. So let's look at the main energies really quickly because this is going to tie everything in. So you can see we have, by the way, double nines. The month September is a 9, and 9/20/2023 becomes an 18. The 1 and 8 becomes a 9. So we begin and we end. It's all at sea, full circle. It's all contained within. This message is full circle. Double nines, small restraint, surrender. So see, it speaks to exactly what Colleen asked. Small restraint, let go of the old ways, surrender it. Step by step, piece by piece. We have 20. Remember that beautiful image. Just going to bring it up very quickly. Wisdom, the owl and the golden apple, the all-seeing eye, and ancient wisdom. And this contemplation view, it's a higher view of things. This is what we're looking at and talking about. The 20, the 2 and the 0 become a 2. Receptive power, reflect. It's the divine feminine. It is to go inside. It is to utilize your divine feminine. And it doesn't matter. Male, female, doesn't matter. Gender, sexual orientation, nationality, does not matter. The receptive power, the divine masculine, the divine feminine are within all of us. Yin, yang, light, dark. It is the purity of them. And so here's 2, receptive power. Reflect, go within. Like Celesio was saying that I shared, go within, 5 minutes. You don't have to ask for anything, expect anything, do anything. Just empty your vessel for 5 minutes a day at this time. 7, oops, sorry. Don't know what I just did there. Well, we'll go with it that way. Bringing it back. There we go. There we go. Keep my hands off the trackpad. So 7, Army, Legions. It's a 2023, a 7-year. We have everything, correct discipline. The 9 and the 2 become an 11. It's about peace. It's exhale, relax. It's all going to be okay. Welcome, Lorna. Welcome, Jennifer. Indeed. Oh, see, better late than never. Always right on time. Lorna, I made it. Almost forgot. Morning, everyone. This piece of we're right on time. So, and then of course, it becomes an 18. The numbers become an 18, which become a 9. Decay, remedy. We're repairing what's spoiled. In order to repair what's spoiled, we need to look within. We need to release. We need to surrender. We need to let go of it, to cleanse the vessel, to empty the vessel, to make space for the new, and to keep taking each step in each moment. These are the magnifying current energies that are tied to these very powerful messages this week. I want to jump into Hexagram 47. And I'm going to do this from 2 different places. This is a new one. It's called Keys of the I Ching by Jesse Chestnut. And he speaks about, so Hexagram 47, lake over water. And it's known as oppression, exhaustion. So we can see the cacophony, we can see the chaos, we can see everything happening in the world affairs. And yet it's also about adapt. It's about letting go, adapt to the new. We're creating chaos anywhere we're holding on, where we're fixed, not fluid, where we want the old, or we want the beast we know, we want what we've known. Well, it's gone, it's going, it's done. So adapt. Empty the vessel, make way for the room for the new. So Jesse talks about oppression, transmutation, transfiguration, codon ring of alchemy. Take pause and draw your awareness within to stave off a time of adversity that can lead to exhaustion and oppression. This inner contemplation will naturally transmute the pain and misery of the dry lake back into a lush source of nourishment in time. See, we're in the moment, we're in the pinnacle, the apex of chaos, oppression, exhaustion, chaos, craziness, until the lake is renewed, until we're back in the state of calm. The image evoked by this hexagram is of a lake which has been drained by a larger body of water underground, forming a dry lake bed or a dry well. So remember, we got to empty the vessel to renew it, to refill it with the new. This hexagram often comes to signify a time when adversity abounds in the outer world. It indicates the energy of pause leading to inner transformation. Adversity in the external world cannot be avoided. It is a natural element of life. To fight against this energy would not only lead to exhaustion, it would also create the feeling of doom, where life is thwarting you at your every action. Instead, take pause to attend to your inner needs so that you have your full energy when a more beneficial time arrives. So look at how when we cleave to the old, when we cleave to what we know, when we are not willing to surrender to the new me, the new you, the new us, the new everything, the old order, Revelation 21:4, the old order passes away. The new order arrives. The lake bed is drained. They're showing me the image. The unseen is giving me the image of an hourglass. It empties. It empties. And then what do? We turn it over. We turn it upside down. We turn it over so that it begins anew. But it's new. That is the piece here. Oppression is the feeling that the external circumstances of life are out of your control. This is a bigger thing. See, there are people in the world affairs trying to cling to an old way, trying to control it. The master weaver, source, the unseen it's like they're you see me kind of like, it's like they're laughing because it is a higher hand that orchestrates everything. We're meant to flow with our soul source connection, not against it. Surrender the ego, mind, personality in service to the soul. This happens because we are unwilling to face our inner traumas and negative karma. So it is pushed out into the world where it manifests as oppressive forces. Colleen's question and the answer. See, it's because we individually, 8 billion souls on the planet, are collectively unwilling to face our inner traumas and negative karma. So it is pushed out into the world where it manifests as oppressive forces. We have the ability, one by one, in every moment, to release, to empty the vessel, to release it, surrender it, to let it pass away and die, so as to receive something new. Instead, we are counseled to draw in our awareness and use the seemingly negative experiences in our lives to shine a light on the aspects of our nature that are not fully developed. In this way, Pluto's illuminating, bringing up to the light so we can fully develop. In this way, we can transmute the exhausting, oppressive forces of negativity in our lives to bring wholeness to our being through inward acceptance of responsibility of self. Self-responsibility. Responsibility, accountability. If we are responsible for our mind, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds, our inactions. We're responsible. We're accountable. That's a done deal. Using hardship as fuel for the fires of transmutation is the keynote of a true alchemist. Use this time to practice leaning into inner work, and over time, pain may be transformed into gold. I want to bring up this beautiful first quote. It is, keep knocking And the joy inside will eventually open a window to look out and see who is there. It's about not giving up. It's about keep knocking, keep going, because the joy inside will eventually open a new window. It will look out to see who's there, and it's going to see the new. That's what it's going to see, and that's going to bring more joy. So once we learn the secret ways of transforming our personal pain, it naturally leads to processing collective trauma and will eventually leave the world transfigured. This is the codon ring of alchemy, and the 47th is the key for transmuting the densest matters into light. Take the insights offered by this hexagram, and the alchemist's secret of transmutation can be yours. The hard stones that make up our path can be transfigured to gold, and everywhere we go, no matter the adversity and pain, can be a golden path of healing and light, because every moment is an opportunity. And we are the masters. We are the co-creators of our destiny, of our individual micro destiny and the collective macro destiny. This isn't, these are literally, they're talking about this golden path, cobblestones, each piece, each moment, each experience, a golden piece. It's not a smoldering dung heap. These are golden cobblestones being laid, and we are laying them. We are empowered to create them, to lay them, to, travel the path less traveled, forge our way. And what does it do? It transcends this. The calendar order of hexagrams can be organized into geometric structure that creates many perfect layers of order and symmetry. And so, again, we can manifest how we walk, how we create our lives, individually, collectively. This key is connected to the shadow of all life, meaning hexagram 47, the great primal fears that linger in the deep collective unconscious and live in every cell of every being in the junk DNA. We all share deep fears of negative outcomes, and these fears drive us into so much pain, exhaustion, and oppression. This key is at the heart of alchemy, and it is essential for the whole process of evolution. All of life exists in positive and negative charges, but when we only seek the positive and avoid the negative, life becomes out of balance. See, we've talked about, it's not about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We need a healthy ego, mind, personality, just as we need to connect to our soul. It is not about one over the other. It is not about killing the ego or the negative thoughts or ignoring them or avoiding them. It is about purifying both the dark and the light. Because too much dark, too much light, and here's matriarchal rule. Here's the Aquarian age. It is the harmony and the blending of. That is this moment. We run in circles, recreating the same patterns over and over, that hamster wheel, making it seem like life is oppressing us while we are acting out our unfaced fears. See, it's not being done to us. I mean, if it is, we're doing it. But it's being done for us because we're in this constant hamster wheel, this constant cycle, these same patterns over and over again. It is this pain, fear, and trauma lying deep in our subconscious that attunes us to the very source of our power. Cloak of opposites. All it takes to transmute this collective karma and fear is presence, consciousness, choosing, caring, choosing to do something about it in a proactive, step-by-step, do no harm manner. And do no harm with ourselves first and foremost, and with others. The trick is to feel it without identifying with it. See, it's to look at things, to visit them, but allow it to refine you, not define you. Don't become the lesson, transcend it. The trick is to feel it without identifying with it. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. What is available here? What's the pearl? What's the wisdom? What's the gift in whatever I'm experiencing? So that I am able to effortlessly flow through it. The dilemma of ownership because the only way through is to own our own suffering. But once we do fully, it is not even ours to own. Own the shadow you carry, even though it's not yours. It comes with the vehicle. See, it's a part of us right now. It is a part of the current order. That will be shifted and released. The ideal becomes the new reality. However, in the meantime, the shadow comes with the vehicle. It's a part of it. So simply recognize it. Simply look to see, Pluto, what is it bringing up in this moment for me to release? Because that's going to purify my vessel, cleanse my vessel, empty my vessel, so that I've made space for the new. He says, repressive, hopeless, collapse into overwhelm, accepting oppression and compromise. So he's talking about the things that we do with this hexagram, with this energy, where we buy into the story, we become the story. Reactive, dogmatic, project their oppression onto others, attempt to control environments to create security. Because there's fear involved about the new that is unknown, that we have yet to walk into, become, be. The reactive element is dogma, oppression of others, the attempt to control so as to feel safe. If anyone's doing that, stop. Release the fear, look at it, see it for the truth and the beauty that it is, because it comes with the vehicle, and then listen to your soul source connection and allow it to cleanse you, release you. Because I want to bring this in really quickly. From the get-go with the weekly wisdom and insights, this has been about the devil to the lovers. This is in the tarot. From Exodus to Revelation. From the enslavement of things, the shadow of things, to the purity. You see the devil card on the tarot on the left. You see the lover's card on the right. And notice that they are the same two divine beings, humans, divine masculine, divine feminine. One enslaved, one liberated, one purified. One, and this is the whole journey. It is about transmuting the shadow elements into the purity of being. That is what this is all about. So we go back. Transmutation is a natural process in human awareness that takes facing our weakest, most shameful and painful parts with compassion. All it takes is to feel it with an open heart and a clear mind. No judgments. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge others. Stay out of judgment. By feeling things deeply without distraction or avoidance, they change. Like magic, there is an alchemy of the heart which has the power to transform all shadows, fears, and lower vibrations into the rarefied essence of the cosmos. This is the power of not letting fear stop you from trying. Surrender to the pain, to the moment, and it will transform. What comes is a massive transformation of self, release of energy, and a commitment to turn toward the unknown, scary, and misunderstood parts of life and leave everything transformed. See, it's about how powerful. What comes is a massive transformation of self, a release of energy, and a commitment to turn toward the unknown, scary, and misunderstood parts of life and leave everything transformed. Because the fear is we don't know what's on the other side. We know what we know until we know. And so we fear the unknown. We fear the new. We fear what we don't understand. And yet when we just surrender and embrace it, and we're on the other side of it, on the other side of the fear, we look and we go, oh my gosh, why did I wait so long? Why was I so worried or scared? What? And this can be anything, a relationship, a moving, taking on a new, pursuing a new possibility or opportunity. All of it's contained. And we get to the other side and it's completely transformed. We're transformed. At the highest level, the way of alchemy leads to us being transformed into the highest refined essence of our external nature, our eternal nature, our divine nature. We are transfigured into gold. Remember, we've gotten the golden ticket. We've often said this. I'm bringing it up really quickly. You've got the golden ticket. We are transfigured into gold, into our divine selves, our divine nature. This is known as the rainbow body in the East, where the state of our consciousness leads to the transformation of our physical body. The junk DNA is used in its highest capacity as a transducer of light. And when he's talking about junk DNA, it's like our that which the decay, repairing what's spoiled, that which has been in the shadow. It's used in its highest capacity as a transducer of light. All of the shadows that are held collectively, when faced and transformed, become a luminous field for transfiguration. A luminous field for transfiguration. Humanity is at a time of great change. And so, like before Jesus was transfigured on the cross, so too must our shadows and collective karma be sacrificed to make way for a new light to pour into the world. Turning to the pain and suffering of the world is the way to allow divine grace to illuminate the whole. Not become it, not turn to it to become it. Turn to this pain and suffering and this cleaving and this fear to let go of it. Divine grace. So that was Jesse Chestnut with Keys of the I Ching, which I'm going to post in the show comments. There's this beautiful message. Item number 3 that the unseen gave me is, I heard the phrase, I was once lost, but now I am found. It's from Luke 15:10. It's also part of the lyrics to Amazing Grace. And I'm going to post a video of Amazing Grace performed in Scotland with the bagpipes. It's so powerful. This message of love, this message of I was once lost, but now I'm found. This message of mere hours, days, weeks, the journey in full, the journey begins. Enough is enough is enough. We're advancing, we're moving forward. Because no more tears. Revelation 21:4. This overall message of transfiguration, the mere human individual made sacred. This return. Notes from the Universe. This is Mike Dooley, Notes from the Universe. And I received this morning. It said, in the beginning, the price of giving great love is risking that it won't be returned. Until you understand, of course, that great love is always returned with compound interest, the universe. So there's a message here that there's the fall from grace, right? There's the separation. And yet we've never truly been separated. That's an illusion. The separation is an illusion. Death is an illusion. It's an illusion. And it's for us to come back into resonance, harmony, purity with source, divine soul source connection. The ring of destiny that Jesse, with the hexagram that I was sharing, This is from Richard Rudd's Gene Keys, these codon rings, the rings of revelation. And so this is the ring of destiny. And it says, it is through the ring of destiny that the two great forces of evolution and involution come together. Human destiny is caught between the polarity of these two gene keys, with the 34th representing the human urge to evolve and become more, and the 43rd representing the divine urge to evolve and dive down into the world of form. In the ring of destiny, the epiphany of the higher planes encounters and infuses the majestic of the body on the lower planes. The result is pure fusion, as spirit enters matter and imbues it with divinity. The secret of this codon ring is the secret of timing, divine timing. And down through the ages, it has whispered a great truth into the ears of those whose insight is developed enough to hear it. Life is a mystery in which chance and love are dancing together. So there's a beauty here about the fact that we are in this moment of an epic EPIC and EPOCH, both meaning huge and in a clarity of time, a window of time, an era. And so the fourth thing the unseen said was, do not give up, exclamation point. Do not give up hope, exclamation point. And then there was this stillness, this pause, this quietness. And then they said, lead, with 3 exclamation points. So this message of do not give up. We are at remember, it's that anaretic degree of faith, that moment of faith, of truth, when it all changes. What are we to do in the moment? Listen, look within, keep releasing, stay out of judgment, make space for the new, embrace and embody the new. And you may say, well, I don't know what the new is because I don't know what it is. And yet, intuitively, the soul knows. It's the ideal. It's what we've been striving for all this time. It's the return. It's the being a better human. It is love thy neighbor as thyself and thy God above all other. It's like do right by each other. We know it. So we do know what the new is. We've yet to experience it in full, but the journey begins. And so 4 is foundational. They're saying to us, do not give up. Do not give up hope. Lead. And so each of us can lead. It doesn't matter your station in life, your circumstance in life. What matters is that you take this moment to lay down the burdens, look at the fears and the shadows, care enough to choose to transmute them, to release them, to cleanse and empty and purify your vessel, to lead by example. We don't have to talk about it. People will notice it. People will see it. People will go, what's going on with her? What's going on with him? Because it's self-evident. And it will be self-evident to you. It is not external. It is not dependent on any person, place, or thing outside of you. You have everything you need. We have everything we need in this moment to lead, to arrive, to be the new, to arrive in it. The last thing the unseen gave us is number 5, and they said, and Ava is saying in this moment, we are actually privileged indeed. Sue is saying, wow. It's true. We have everything we need. We are indeed privileged. As souls, we are privileged to be here at this moment because remember, the last time this happened, moving from the age of Aries to the age of Pisces. Who bridged that gap? Master Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the apostles. I mean, the most prominent piece, and I don't say this from a state of Christianity and religion, I say this from a state of spiritual awareness, spiritual legacy. And there are many. This was our most recent example, and look at the longevity of that message, of that moment. From Aries to Pisces, Master Jesus, the lamb, the ram, the lamb, Pisces, the fisher of men. We, 8 billion souls on the planet at this moment, chose to be here for the next moment of change, this epic moment of change. And it's now. Mere hours, days, weeks, the journey in full, the journey begins. Transfiguration, the mere human individual made sacred. The new. This massive transformation. And we chose to be here. How flipping cool is that? So, let me move to the last piece. And it is continuing with hexagram. And let me just do one more quote. Sorry, before I do that. Success is a pathway of self-completion, and the seed is always within you. And look at this, the moss on this beautiful tree, and the seedling coming up out of the V of the tree. Success is a pathway of self-completion, and the seed is always within you. See, we have everything we need. It's within us. It springs forth from us. It is not dependent on any other person, place, or thing. It is not external. It is internal. And let me just bring up our mantra as well. Transmuting trauma into treasure transcends. Transmuting trauma into treasure transcends. It completely transforms. And so look at any trauma, any shadow elements, and find the treasure that is contained within them. Because it's not about becoming the lesson. It's not about becoming the trauma. It's about transcending it. And that being true, it means there's an absolute treasure contained within. There is a renewal. There is a rebirth. There is an opportunity for transformation. So, and let me just bring up also very quickly our astrological influences with this equinox, the autumnal equinox happening on Saturday. It's on 9/22, the sun enters Libra at 0 degrees on 9/23. So this is in the evening of 22 into the entire day of 23, and then the fall equinox at 0 degrees Libra. And what I heard with this, with the astrological energies, was transfiguration. Time to reap what we've sown and cultivated. And that's not karma and retribution and so forth. It's simply the purity of, it's the harvest time. So it's time to reap, harvest, reap means harvest, what we've sown and cultivated. So sow and cultivate, and you're never too late. It's like Lorna and Jennifer saying, we're better late than never. We're right here on time. We're never too late to sow and cultivate a different mindset, a different outcome, a different opportunity. It's right. We're right where we're meant to be right at that moment. So the last two things, number 5, the last thing the unseen said was everlasting love. And then they said eternal. So this everlasting love, higher source, the divine mother, the divine father, the divine family, everlasting love. It's eternal. It's not, it's unconditional, it's eternal. It is not subjective. It is not conditional. And there's a song, Everlasting Love. In 1967, it was a hit by Robert Knight. And in 1968 in the UK, that same song was a hit with a group called Love Affair. And so that epitomizes what we're talking about here, is the love affair between source and self. Human, mere human, and sacred human, divine human. There's a love affair. It's an everlasting love. It's eternal. That is how much we're loved and cared for. That is why there's a promise. That is why there's a deliverance about the old order, the old way. Enough is enough is enough. Been there, done that. We've done this. Let us move forward. Why? Because I love you. This is Source saying, because I love you. There's an everlasting love. There's a love affair here. There's an everlasting love. And when we're loved, I mean, you can see me when I'm talking about it, it makes me smile. Well, when we're loved and we feel love and we give love, we feel good. We're naturally more buoyant. We're more transparent. We're more happy. You pick a positive adjective, there it is. A positive word, there it is. Hexagram 47. Oppression, exhaustion, adapt, change. Because change it is, change it will. However, what's at its, and 5 is change. What's at the foundation of change? Everlasting love, this love affair. So, what a beautiful, powerful message for this autumnal equinox of September 2023. Looking forward to seeing what happens next week. And remember, these energies, this change, they ripple out, they play for some time to come. So, in the moment, empty your vessel, surrender, purify, cleanse, sit in contemplation, a higher view, make space for the new, because we know what we know until we know. We know what we know until we know, which means the unknown becomes known. And what we can do now is to release the old. So I love you all. Thank you so much for all of your comments, your participation, your presence. Again, without you, this would not be the same. You are such integral pieces and beautiful pieces, threads in this interwoven galactic, worldly family and tapestry. And so I thank you for your presence and your energies. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, be well.